Hi Libra, this is Mimi with Divination by Mimi. Welcome to your January 15th to the 31st, 2018 tarot reading with a little bit of astrology and oracle guidance if necessary. So Libra, you are a cardinal sign and your element's air. You rule the 7th house, which has to do with relationships, how the individual relates to the other. So it's not about you, it's about the other. And you're kind of known as the diplomat of the natal chart, natural natal chart. You're an intelligent sign, and you're intellectual, but there's also a very intuitive side to you and a very sensual side to you. This is Venus. Venus is your ruling planet. And at the moment, your ruling planet is right in the 10th house of structure, restriction, authority, the law, the Capricorn house, along with 6 other planets. So at the time of this, we have the new moon in Capricorn. So the moon is there and the sun is there and they're conjunct. That's what makes a new moon, because they're lining up that way, the shadow of the earth is cast upon the moon, obscuring the light of the sun, so it doesn't reflect. So it's a dark moon. So it's a new moon. Time for gestation, time for planting seeds of intention. In addition, we have 2 female archetypes, one your ruling planet, Venus, and then the other is Black Moon Lilith, who is kind of the suppressed female. If you were to make a comparison, say Sumerian, it would be Inanna to Ereshkigal. It's really 2 sides of the same person, but it's a repressed or scapegoated part of the divine feminine. So we've got 2 female archetypes there. Then we've got 2 heavy hitter male archetypes there. We've got Saturn, which is kind of like the strict dad. He's authority, restriction, structure in the 3-dimensional world, manifestation, ruling the 10th house, ruling Capricorn. But we also have Pluto, lord of the underworld, who is kind of the lord of, or the god of sex, death, and power. So heavy hitting archetypes, both female and male, in Capricorn. Also Mercury is there. Mercury at this point, by the time we're doing this reading, will be out of its retrograde shadow, so all communication should be normal. However, I will say this, there's a slight disruption or irritation that's occurring with the square between Uranus and this new moon. So the new moon occurs on the 16th or 17th, depending upon where you are in the world, of January. And as I said, it's in Capricorn, but it makes a square with Uranus. Uranus has recently gone direct, and it's in the sign of Aries. So the archetype for Uranus is kind of a rebel. Firstly, he's very forward-thinking, progressive, future-thinking, but he's also collective. He rules the 11th house. He rules Aquarius, which is very much about the collective. It's about advancement, technological or spiritual or what have you, for the collective, for the good of all, okay? But there's a rebellious nature to that. When it makes this square to the new moon in the 10th house, which again, remember, is about authority and the status quo and hierarchy and law and order, you might find yourself individually feeling like, I don't know, squaring off with an authority figure like your boss or the landlord or a cop or the court system or something like that. You might find a desire to fight back, or a desire to sort of butt heads with them. On the world stage, we'll very likely see this as Uranus is making his presence known in the world under the current political environment all over pretty much the whole world, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. You will see continued clashes between the restrictive nature of law and order, 10th house Saturn, where the new moon is in the 10th house, and then Uranus, this kind of a revolutionary activist energy. So don't be surprised if you see that. Now there's going to be another second full moon of the month, which is kind of unusual. Full super moon, blue moon in Leo with an eclipse. So a lot of heavy energy happening this month. So you might be feeling it, especially with Venus in Capricorn in the 10th house. You might feel slight restriction on how you express your feelings or how others are expressing their feelings to you. And everything that Venus means, value, beauty, sensuality, there might be kind of a stifling of that energy. But she'll make her way out soon. Just hang in there. And I think astrologically that's all I wanted to cover. So let's get into your reading. I'm doing a 4-card pull, which is based on some situation you're experiencing in your life. This could be a thought that you're ruminating on or a feeling that you're ruminating on. It could be a situation you find yourself in life. And I'm going, the first card basically is that situation or that feeling that you're having or thought that you're having. Second card is a positive aspect to it. Third card is a negative aspect to it. And then the fourth and final card would be overall advice. I am using the Thoth or the Tahuti deck. Let's get going. This is for Libra, cardinal, air sign, ruler of the 7th house, diplomat, and ruled by Venus, the archetypal female, archetypal feminine energy, not gender, but energy, who is currently direct in the sign of Capricorn or the 10th house, feeling a little bit restricted in her normality, which is her normal behavior, and also feeling that interesting square occurring with Uranus as she's fairly close to the activity in the 10th house where the new moon is. One more. Ooh, no note of that one. Okay. Holy Hecate. What does Libra need to know for January 15th through the 31st, 2018, considering the new and full moon? What energy is Libra sitting in? What is, thank you. Whoa. Prince of Wands, which is a Leo or Leonian energy on the low octave. So it feels as though you might be dealing with someone who lacks your diplomacy. The low octave of Leo, his motto is I will. Okay, so, and they're known as the king and the queen of the jungle. They're ruled by the sun. You know, all the planets revolve around them. So there can be on the low octave, I'm not having a go at Leo here, but there can be on the low octave an egotism, not healthy self-esteem or self-assertion, but really pushing of the will without much regard for anyone or anything else. So you might, looks like you might be dealing with that at the moment. Positive, we have peace, which is the 2 of Swords. You got this in reverse. And then negative, it's the last end, it's the end of the cycle. So 2 air cards, 2 swords, and then overall advice. Okay. So this Leonian energy, I'm not sure if this is an intimate relationship. It feels a little bit more like it might be a project relationship or a work relationship. The positive aspect of it is it would appear that you have made a decision. You've moved beyond the peace of the balance of 2. Okay, you're not seeking that peace anymore, and you've moved beyond it. You've prepared yourself to possibly part ways with this energy. If not part ways with it, address it. Now, Libra, and this is actually quite good. Libra's tendency is to be kind of wavering. You find it difficult to make decisions because you're weighing, you're the scales, right? So you're weighing all of your options. Oh, should I do this or should I not do this? And you're considering the energies and feelings of the other. But you've gotten to the point here where you've considered it long enough and you are at the end of a cycle here. This is the Ruin card. This is, hold on. This is the Sun and Gemini, which is Gemini ruled by Mercury and the Sun ruling Leo, strangely enough. And I believe Leo is an attribute in this card as well. Yeah, this is, I think, actually, I think Libra with Leo rising. This I believe, was Crowley's card, or Leo ascendant. It could be that you have a Leo ascendant. But whatever this is, whatever this experience that you're having, you're at the end of a cycle, you're learning from this, and it's kind of the life lesson of Libra to move. Diplomacy is very important. Consideration of the other is absolutely very important, but not to the detriment of the self. There needs to be an assertion of the will to a certain point, and you've made a decision to handle that. You've made a decision to either let this person know or part ways with this person, this party. And again, it feels like a creative project, a friend. It doesn't feel like an intimate relationship. Um, and the overall advice is to let the disappointment go. So this is the Five of Cups, which is disappointment in the Thither, the Tahuti deck. In the Rider-Waite-Smith, it's the woman or man, it's kind of hard to tell, who is focusing on loss versus what remains. You actually are taking, you're actually going about this the right way, because you have finally made a decision and you understand it is the end of a cycle of you taking too much abuse, taking on too much of other people's will and their assertion of their will over yours, putting their needs before yours, basically, or their opinions before yours. The fact that you're moving beyond this, and Spirit is guiding you to do this, this is the advice, and it looks as though you're taking it as you've made a decision. It's a life lesson. It's the end of a cycle for you where you take too much, where you give too much. And because you've made this decision, not only will you be parting ways with this particular person, but also with this energy. Okay, again, Libra and Leo, on the low octave of each. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, so I'm glad you've made the decision. Looks like you're finally at a point where you're done with that type of behavior. You are done with taking on other people's shit, doing all the work, showing all the love, and getting nothing in return. So good on you. That's all I've got for you, Libra. I think that's pretty clear. However, if you have questions or comments about the video, please leave them in the comment section below. Also, if you would like a personal reading, feel free to email me at memememes@hotmail.com. You'll find that email address in the description box below the video. Please like if you did like it, if you found it helpful. Share it if you feel it might help someone else. The energy might apply to other people in your life. Or just because you feel like it. And please subscribe. It'd be wonderful. We're a small channel here, but we're growing organically, little by little. So, you know, join in and share the conversation and watch for new videos. I tend to do astrological readings and tarot readings on the lunations and for individual signs at the mid-month and then at the beginning of the month. However, I am wanting to expand it a little bit more into other esoteric discussions. So feel free to join. It'd be great to have you. And I think that's all I've got for you. So you take care, Libra.